Hey, it's Dr. Kate Walker with Kate Walker Training, and I'm going to take you through my pumpkin money plan. And it's an Excel spreadsheet where I can keep track of sales of my products and make some really good, tough decisions at the end of the year when I'm trying to decide what to keep and what to toss. So for those of you watching this who are counselors, you need to be mindful that I've got to be talking about things in terms of products, kind of like a shoe salesperson would talk about what shoes are selling or which shoes are not selling. So to make that flip for counseling, you might want to think in terms of individual sessions or couple sessions or pro bono sessions or reduced rate sessions. Each one of those things can be thought of as a product. You might even think of it in terms of sessions devoted to family or to couple, or even if you want to get really drilled down into it, you can think in terms of niche like grief or infidelity or addiction. So once you start thinking about your sessions and what you're offering in terms of a product that sells by the hour, then it starts to make sense when we're thinking about, okay, what do you want to devote your time to, which translates into how do you want to spend your time marketing, and my favorite term, the most bang for your buck, right? Because your time is money. If you're charging money for a service, that means every minute that you spend knocking on doors, giving your cards out at doctor's offices, making cold calls, that's money. That's your hourly rate. So you want to make sure that you're spending that time wisely, and this technique can really, really help. Now, pumpkin money comes from, it's a term that's coined from a book, and I'll post the resource right here so that you can find that on your own. It's a great book, and it's a neat philosophy because it talks about putting your resources into the thing, the pumpkin, that will bring you the most money. So if you think in terms of those gigantic pumpkins at county fairs, there are folks that just spend time growing giant pumpkins because one seed from a giant pumpkin can, I'm going to exaggerate here, but it's like $10,000. So why would you grow little pumpkins when you can grow one giant one and get that return? So that's basically what the book's about. As you translate that into business, then you're looking for the products that are bringing you a return. So I'm going to take you to my spreadsheet for 2020, and I'm going to show you, you're going to just see a lot of numbers and products. Probably won't make a lot of sense to you, but it will. I will point out the parts that are important to me. So when you look over here at this section, you will see the dates, and in this column, that's what I made per month on courses, resources, tools, consultations, memberships, all of that good stuff. Now, if I wanted to get month by month, I could show you for my book sales, my $90 courses, my $60 courses, consultation groups, my 40-hour online training, the refresher course, there we go, etc. So for a quick glance, though, I created this spreadsheet little mini section right here. And basically what that does is it pulls down the information and puts it in one glance for me, because I hate to scroll. I like to see things in one glance. So you can see how many units I sold and how much I made from those sales. Now, it's deceiving, right? Because you might look and say, oh, that's awesome. You sold 265 units or tickets to the consultation group, and it looks like you made $6,659, and that's great. But then when you look at my 40-hour training and realize I only sold 74 units, but I made almost 8 times more money, right? And I put it in a graphic here so you can see the further apart the dots are, the more money I get for fewer units. So the blue dots are the number of units that I sold, and then the red dots are the income that I received from that unit. I'm sorry, from the sale of all of the units. So the farther apart the dot, the bigger the pumpkin. So this time, the end of the year, is when I drill down and I say, okay, these dots here where the blue and the red, they're meeting, that's not doing much for my business. It may take a ton of energy. It may take tons of money. It may take tons of resources. And if I'm not moving that red dot, if I'm not making an income, and I can look over here and see the numbers, right? So let's look at t-shirts. I have some amazing t-shirts. Well, I only sold one and I made $30. So I won't put a lot of time and energy into that this year. What else? I have some memberships that I was really excited about in 2020. Well, they kind of fell flat. My memberships didn't take off, and I put a lot of time and energy, and that equals money, but I can't cry about that. I can't get emotionally attached to these products, because now I look at that and I say, well, let's see. My certified supervisor instructor course, that's right here. I sold 9 of those, and it's a pretty good chunk of change, $3,487.50. But if we look over here, let's see if we can find. There it is. So we moved the red dot just a little bit here for our CSI member, but not enough to keep it as a pumpkin that can take time away, right? Because if I look, I can even start to rank these. So let's see, the 40-hour training, that would be the top seller with the fewest amount of units. And then next, it's pretty far back here. So number 2 would be the consultation group, which is awesome because I enjoy that too. It's nice when you enjoy the thing that's making money. And then 3, it looks like the refresher course. And then 4, we have a membership that kind of topped over $3,000. That's good. And really from there on out, it's a tie for consultation, Badass Business Builder member, and CSI member. So I'll just keep that for the top 4. And so if I'm going to Marie Kondo my business, which I do every January, those top 4 things are what I'm going to be looking at. And honestly, I'll probably only keep the top 2. I know that sounds really drastic. And, I think about when I first started this business, and I would get kind of emotional because I would put so much into it. I've created DVD series. I've created workshops. I've done all kinds of things that just didn't cut the mustard at the end of the year when I do this sort of pumpkin test, right? And if I look down here at my numbers, 2020 compared to 2019 was a pretty good year for me, right? I had some stinky sales February through May. I think everybody did because of COVID. But then, wow, I mean, it really bounced back. November dropped again. But for the year, as you can see right here, I had overall almost a 24% increase in sales from just 4 products. So I'm going to say that again, 24% increase in sales. Like if you put your money on the stock market and got a 24% return, that would be amazing. So if 4 products are bringing me a 24% increase in sales, that's where I want to put my energy, right? That's where I want to put my time, any extra money to invest. If I have to hire people or hire creative artists or graphic designers or web designers, that's where I want to put my emphasis. So as I'm starting to close out and think about what's happening next year, I'm going to be weeding my garden and getting rid of some things, or Marie Kondoing that shit, right? And making sure that I'm keeping the things that are increasing my bottom line. I will put this into a tab, but I wanted to show you one more thing. Right here, I did use Google Ads for a while. I started it in July 2019 and then ended it in January 2019. So I like to just keep a little running total here, and you can see the cost is 0 after January. But CTR is a click-through ratio. IMP are impressions, and then clicks are self-explanatory. So you can see, even though I stopped spending money on AdWords, my clicks have gone up consistently. My impressions, they go up and down, but December is really kind of cool because I had one of my highest click-through ratios. And basically what that means, your website is think of it like, a big touch screen, right? And so every time somebody clicks on a product, that's a click through. So they take the number of impressions, compare it to how many clicks you actually get, and you get this percentage right here. So with AdWords, it was the highest, 4.1. Oh, it looks like I had another good April, 4.4. And then this December looks really good. I had 714 clicks, 3.9 click-through ratio, and low impressions. So that means people who came to my site were really focused on my site. They find it, they click. Sometimes I'll get mistakes. People will think that they are getting, how to become an LPC in Texas. So I'll get tons of impressions and maybe even a click or two because someone's curious, but they're not really there to buy my product. So all of these things I can drill down using Google search tools, Google Console, Google My Business. And, maybe that's something that, actually for my New Year's resolution, I don't really do resolutions, but my idea is to dive deeper into search engine optimization and making sure that my search terms are actually leading to my site and resulting in clicks. So that is my January pumpkin money. Thanks for watching.